Welcome back to Stoic Wisdomtv. A man's allure is not merely defined by what he does but, more crucially, by what he refuses to do. While most men focus on mastering techniques to impress women, be it confidence, charm, or persuasion, the wisest men understand that attraction is just as much about avoiding self-sabotage. True magnetism isn't about performing, it's about embodying an unshakable presence, free from the pitfalls that diminish respect, desire, and admiration. Many men, despite their best intentions, unknowingly undermine their own appeal. They adopt behaviors they believe will draw women closer, being overly accommodating, seeking approval, over-explaining, or putting her on a pedestal without realizing these actions have the opposite effect. Attraction, at its core, is a subconscious response, and nothing kills it faster than a man who signals neediness, insecurity, or a lack of self-respect. A woman is not drawn to a man because he showers her with validation or sacrifices his own identity to fit into her world. She is drawn to the man who stands firm in who he is, who does not waver based on her reactions, who does not beg for her approval, and who does not crumble under the weight of her emotions. She desires a man she can respect, not one she can control. The tragedy for many men is that by the time they realize what they've done wrong, it's already too late. She has lost interest, she has pulled away, or worse, she has started to see him as just another forgettable figure in her past. The most painful part? He often doesn't even know what went wrong. Here are 5 things men should never do if they want to maintain a woman's respect, desire, and attraction. 1. Do not seek validation from her. A man who constantly seeks validation from a woman asking, "Do you like me?" or "Am I good enough?" reveals a deep insecurity that erodes attraction. True confidence does not come from external reassurance but from an unshakable sense of self-worth. The moment a man depends on a woman's approval to feel valuable, he forfeits his own power. From a Stoic perspective, a man should focus on what is within his control: his thoughts, actions, and character. A woman's opinion is beyond his control, and therefore, it should not dictate his self-perception. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. If a man bases his worth on a woman's validation, he becomes emotionally fragile, easily swayed by her moods, and ultimately unattractive. An attractive man does not need constant reassurance because he already knows his own value. He does not ask, "Am I enough?" because he is too busy living with purpose, striving for growth, and maintaining his standards. Instead of seeking validation, he gives it sparingly and authentically, recognizing a woman's depth rather than desperately fishing for approval. A woman does not desire a man she must emotionally uphold, she seeks a man who is already whole. A man who stands firm in his identity, who does not waver in his self-worth, commands respect. When he does not need a woman's validation, paradoxically, he becomes the man she is most drawn to. 2. Do not put her on a pedestal. To place a woman on a pedestal is to distort reality. It is to see her not as a human being with flaws, but as an idealized figure, an object of worship. This act of idolization, though seemingly flattering, paradoxically leads to a loss of respect. Why? Because admiration without boundaries signals imbalance. It reveals a man who sees himself as inferior, unworthy, and in need of her approval. And nothing diminishes attraction faster than a man who believes he is beneath her. From a Stoic perspective, one of the greatest virtues is equanimity, the ability to remain steady, unaffected by external forces. A man who deifies a woman has lost this balance. He allows his emotions, rather than reason, to dictate his perception. Epictetus reminds us, man is not disturbed by things, but by the view he takes of them. If a man views a woman as superior to himself, he surrenders his own value. He treats her not as a partner, but as an unattainable prize, which ironically makes him undeserving in her eyes. Women do not seek worship, they seek challenge, respect, and excitement. A man who sees himself as her equal not in arrogance, but in quiet confidence creates an atmosphere of genuine connection. He does not bend to her every whim, nor does he fear losing her approval. Instead, he challenges her intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually. This dynamic fosters attraction, not through servitude, but through strength. A Stoic man does not kneel before a woman, he walks beside her. He neither seeks to dominate nor to be dominated. He remains grounded in his own purpose, knowing that true respect comes not from worship, but from mutual recognition of worth. 3. Do not let her control the relationship. A relationship is not a throne upon which one person rules while the other submits. It is a dynamic interplay of two individuals, each possessing their own will, direction, and purpose. However, many men fall into the trap of over-accommodation, yielding too easily, apologizing excessively, and deferring all decisions to their partner. While this might seem like an act of kindness or respect, it often has the opposite effect. It breeds contempt rather than affection. From a Stoic perspective, a man must remain steadfast in his principles, unmoved by external pressures. Seneca once said, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." A man who constantly shifts his stance to please his partner loses his own identity. Women, whether consciously or subconsciously, test men not out of cruelty but out of instinct. They seek strength, certainty, and leadership. If a man crumbles under these tests, if he becomes overly accommodating, fearful of disagreement, or hesitant to take a stand, he signals weakness. And weakness, in the realm of attraction, is repelling. This does not mean a man should be domineering or dismissive. True strength is not control over others, but control over oneself. The Stoic man does not dictate, he leads with quiet confidence. He does not react emotionally to every challenge, nor does he apologize for existing. Instead, he maintains his course, making decisions with wisdom and conviction, inviting his partner into his world rather than orbiting around hers. A woman respects a man who stands firm, who remains composed under pressure, and who does not seek validation through submission. Strength and integrity, not blind compliance, create attraction. A man who knows his own worth does not need to be controlled, nor does he allow himself to be. 4. Fear of losing her is the path to losing yourself. A man who fears losing a woman has already lost something far greater: his sense of self. In his desperation to keep her, he tolerates disrespect, compromises his values, and erodes the very foundation of his own integrity. This is not love, it is submission. And submission, in the context of attraction, breeds neither admiration nor desire but contempt. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus taught that we must never attach our well-being to external things, especially those beyond our control. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This wisdom applies to relationships just as much as material wealth. The moment a man needs a woman to feel complete, he has given away his power. He is no longer a sovereign being but a dependent one, at the mercy of another's choices, emotions, and validation. A strong man is not reckless, nor is he indifferent. He simply refuses to let fear dictate his actions. He loves deeply, but never at the cost of his self-respect. If a woman acts in a way that undermines his dignity, he does not beg, plead, or negotiate for basic respect. He does not tolerate manipulation, emotional games, or betrayal. Instead, he walks away not as an act of revenge, but as an affirmation of his own worth. Ironically, it is this very ability to walk away that makes a man more attractive. Women are not drawn to men who grovel for their affection but to men who command respect by their actions. A man who stays not because he is afraid to lose her, but because he chooses to be there, possesses a power that cannot be faked. He is independent, self-sufficient, and therefore desirable. The Stoic does not seek control over others, only over himself. He does not attempt to manipulate a woman's emotions or force her to stay. Instead, he embodies virtue, strength, and self-discipline, creating a presence that others naturally want to be around. And if she chooses to leave, he accepts it with grace, knowing that his value does not diminish based on someone else's choices. In the end, the only thing a man truly owns is himself, his principles, his discipline, and his ability to walk away when necessary. That is not weakness. That is strength. And that is what makes him truly irresistible. 5. The power of consistency. A Stoic's Guide to Attraction. A man who changes himself to please others does not just lose respect, he loses his very essence. To mold one's personality, opinions, or values based on external approval is to abandon the foundation of one's character. The Stoics understood that true strength lies in consistency, in the unwavering adherence to principles regardless of external pressures. Epictetus taught that we should seek self-mastery, not the fleeting approval of others. When a man shifts his beliefs or personality to fit the expectations of a woman, he signals that his core is weak and malleable. This is not an act of love, but of insecurity. And insecurity is never attractive. Women are drawn to men who stand firm in their values, who remain composed under pressure, and who do not change their essence based on external validation. This does not mean a man should be rigid or incapable of growth. Wisdom is the ability to adapt while maintaining integrity. However, adaptation is different from compromise of self. A Stoic man does not change to seek approval, he evolves for his own growth. He does not fear disapproval, nor does he bend to momentary emotional fluctuations in others. Attraction is not about perfection, it is about authenticity and stability. A man who stands by his principles, who does not shift with the wind, commands respect, desire, and trust. He does not seek validation, and ironically, that is what makes him most irresistible. The Stoic conclusion: an attractive man is not one who seeks to please, but one who governs himself with unwavering discipline and self-respect. In Stoic philosophy, the highest virtue is not to chase external approval but to master one's own nature. A man who bends his values to gain the affection of a woman has already lost himself, and in doing so, he loses both her respect and his own dignity. Women, like all humans, are drawn to strength, not merely physical strength, but the strength of character, of conviction, of inner stability. A man who knows his worth does not beg for recognition. He commands it through his actions, his composure, and his steadfast adherence to his principles. He does not chase validation, nor does he fear rejection. Instead, he remains centered, understanding that his value is not determined by the fleeting opinions of others. This does not mean that he is cold or indifferent. A truly attractive man is fully present in his relationships, but he does not let them define him. He does not allow emotions or external pressures to sway his purpose. He does not tolerate disrespect, nor does he compromise his integrity for temporary affection. Women respect and desire men who stand firm in the face of trials, who remain unshaken amidst chaos. The man who begs for approval may receive temporary attention, but the man who stands strong earns admiration, desire, and lasting respect. This is the essence of Stoic attraction, not in seeking, but in being. Thank you for watching. I hope this message has touched your heart and brought meaning to your life. If you found this content valuable, please subscribe to the channel for more inspiring content. Like and share this video with your friends and family. Comment below to share your thoughts and experiences on this topic. See you in the next video.